Welcome back to another video. I am dealing with quite the pest issue with my upstairs houseplants. I've always kind of had just maybe like a minor thrip issue, but lately I've been noticing some mealybugs. So this is the first time that I've been kind of dealing with a mealybug infestation. So I'm going to show you what they look like, some of the damage that they can do to your houseplants, and then kind of an alternative product, I guess, in treating these houseplant pests. This is an organic product, so it's not going to fill your home with toxins and all that chemical stuff, so let's check it out. I noticed some damage on one of my monsteras the other day, and I actually cut off the leaves, but I didn't get any footage. So I decided to look around at the rest of my houseplants here, and I started noticing some damage. And then on the underside of this leaf, you can see there's these little kind of yellow dots. Now, I don't know if these are mealybugs, scale, or thrips. They kind of look like immature or the nymph thrips. And then as I look further into the plant here, then I see this little fuzzball, and these are mealybugs. This is the first time that I've been dealing with mealybugs, and you can see right here as well as I peel back this leaf, there's some sticky white stuff there as well. So definitely this has mealybugs, and you can see one just kind of along the stem there. There's a little bit of speckling on the leaves there as well. That can be consistent with sap-sucking insects like thrips and mealybugs. So this one I'm not really too fond of anymore. Like, I absolutely love Hoyas, but in treating it, it can be really difficult. So I grabbed this philodendron here, and I just want to look at the newest leaf. A lot of times I find thrips are attracted to the freshest or the newest leaf, and kind of lo and behold, I see a little thrip or the outline of a thrip on the leaf, and as I flip it over, then you can see an adult thrip. This is what they look like, and right beside it, you can see just a little bit of streaking on the leaf. So that is what a sap-sucking insect like a thrip will do. I'll show some other footage of some thrip damage here as well, but now I'm just going to look over the rest of the plant and looking for thrip damage. Sometimes you'll see yellowing, you'll see these kind of like little silvery streaky patterns. So now all I'm going to do is just look over the rest of my houseplants, looking for any mealybugs and thrips damage, yellow leaves, all that kind of stuff. This burl marks here looks really good. It's got 2 new leaves. I don't see any damage on this one at all, and it's looking pretty good actually. Now this Hoya here, this is the Parasitica heartleaf, I do believe. There is one big juicy mealybug right there. I don't know what I think about these. Sometimes they look pretty cool. The small ones, yeah, like all these little specks here, they're little tiny baby mealybugs. So to combat the issue of my mealybugs and thrips, I've been using a product called Pure Crop 1. It's an organic insecticide, I guess. It is from all natural ingredients. It's all listed on the bottle, as well as the different types of insects that it uses or that it can be effective against. Now, we can't get any systemic type products here in Canada, so that's why I've been trialing this, just because it is organic and it seems to be working so far. I really want to spray this big juicy guy right here, so I did add some of the product in water. It's just diluted, mixed up in water, and I use this little spray bottle. The way this product works is it basically coats the exterior of the bug and then kills them off eventually. This can also be used for mold and mildew if you have any issues with that on your plants. Okay, so let's get to the action. I'm going to coat the entire leaf, and I want to see if this guy turns brown or anything like that. I'm doing this outside right now. Just make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. See if it has any effect on them right now. Because I know when you have mealybugs, you're supposed to be using like a rubbing alcohol or some sort of alcohol-based like hand sanitizer, and you can put it on a Q-tip, you can spray them off, and typically I think they turn like brown and then they just kind of die off. But I'm going to spray off the entire plant, making sure that I coat the front and the back of the leaves. Actually, I want to find another mealybug and then show you the comparison with a rubbing alcohol or like hand sanitizer. There's got to be another mealybug here. Okay, I brought out this plant and it keeps getting worse. Like, look at that. So I'm gonna do kind of a side-by-side comparison. This guy, I don't know if he's shriveling up yet or not, but I will show what to do with the rubbing alcohol. So again, just take rubbing alcohol like that and then just rub it on them. So you can see it's starting to turn like a little bit orange. Just going to dab it on there just so you can see it starts to turn a little bit orange like that. And that's what you want to see with the rubbing alcohol. So this is how you treat mealybugs, is usually with just this rubbing alcohol or like a hand sanitizer. Now I'm going to take the spray and see if it does well, I got to clean this up a bit more. There's still some mealybugs on that, but I'm just going to spray the entire plant off with this Pure Crop one. So oh man, they're everywhere. So they do kind of shrivel up. I don't know if it's just the fuzz that's just starting, like, just kind of soaks it in, but I don't know if it instantly kills them. I don't think it does. I think what it does is it just coats them and basically renders them useless after that. But I don't think it instantly kills them like the alcohol. So maybe I'll wipe them away as much as I can and then spray off the remaining plant. I usually start from the top and then just let it kind of drip down all the way to the bottom, and even in the soil, just spray that off. After a few minutes, it looks like this guy has started to turn a little bit of that brown color as well. I'm going to cut this off just because I don't want one long leggy stem with a big giant mealybug on it. So I'm going to cut that off. It will kind of regrow there. So I'm just going to trim this up a bit. And same with this branch right here. That way it's a little bit more manageable. Now I can spray off the entire plant just like that. I'm not worried about those branches. They'll push out a new growth point, but I just want to make sure that it's of a manageable size, I guess. And then that way I can hopefully better treat these long term. This one's been completely sprayed off, and so far what I've noticed outside is it actually dries off pretty quick, so it might be better to do it in a well ventilated bathroom or something like that, just so it doesn't dry out so fast just due to the wind. Once you have mealybugs, it can be extremely difficult to eradicate. They will find their way into any little crack and crevice. So I've just been spraying this down like crazy, and like I said, sometimes you just have to know when to cut your losses, and if this plant really isn't doing it for you, then don't feel bad for throwing it out. You don't want to infect other plants that you might want to save or salvage with a bug infestation like this. So this one is definitely getting trashed because it has pretty severe thrips as well as the mealybugs. So I'm not even going to try and treat this one. I'm just going to throw it out. I've had this one for a while, so that's the thing. Look at her happy face. That's the thing with having houseplants in your home, is ultimately you're going to get houseplant pests. Thrips, they can literally fly in through the like an open screen on a window, door, that sort of thing. I know where I am here in Canada, we get thrips quite bad just because of how hot and dry it is here. You can get mealybugs from bringing in produce in your homes. You know, just a banana. Their mealybugs are very common on bananas. So if you bring bananas in your home, then you could be essentially bringing in houseplant pests. So it's not necessarily you bringing a plant home from like a plant shop or something. It can be just daily items. You know, thrips can come in on pets, animals, yourself, clothing, can come in through windows, doors, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, that's just what happens when you own houseplants, and you just try and manage it. You'll never be able to eradicate, but you just try and manage the pest situation. A lot of times houseplants will be completely okay even though they have pests on them. You just spray them off. You can take a garden hose. I frequently spray off my plants with just straight water just to blast anything off. But if you see mealybugs, again, you can blast it off with water and then treat afterwards. So this piece snapped right off. You can see there's a little bit of bugs right on this little branch right here. I'm just going to blast it off with my garden hose, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. It's just tough to hold this as well as the camera and my garden hose, but as you can see, they've all been blasted off. I just did this side right here. There's maybe a little bit more on that side. I'll have to just stick this back in the pot. Looks like there's some more right down there. Actually, there's quite a bit, so this piece might be getting junked, but I'm just gonna see. Let's put it right here. Let's see if we can blast this off. Okay, so yeah, they're falling right off. Let's kick it up to the high setting. Let's do the full. I know you want some of this, and she's going to probably attack this plant, but if you do, there you go. Let's see if we can get them all off here. And it looks like it did a pretty good job, actually. There's tons of mealybugs on this thing. I might just be destined for the trash. There's no way I'm going to eradicate this whole thing. So it's probably, yeah, they're all in there. It's probably best that I just put this in the compost. So that makes me really sad just having to throw houseplants out, but ultimately I don't want to. But it just gets to be really, really difficult when you have many houseplants that have, like that plant, just a huge infestation of mealybugs. You're better off to just protect the rest of your collection and toss it out. If you haven't seen one of my recent videos about not having trailing plants anymore, and this is the exact reason, it's really difficult to eradicate houseplant pests when you have so many different hiding spots for the plant or for the pests. Trailing plants are really difficult. Like, how can you go through this Hoya and get every single branch, every single node here? Like, they like to hide underneath the leaves, at the nodes, that kind of thing. So it's really difficult to treat them compared to a plant like a philodendron, which grows up a support stake. Now with Hoyas as beautiful as this one here, I'm going to try with all my might to save these types of ones. Some of the other ones, like, I just really don't care about anymore. So there's a little bit of water droplets right here, and I'm just going to spin this around and just coat the leaf like that. Same with all these other ones, and then I'm going to do the stems and then the underside of the leaves. And of course, mealybugs underneath. They're right there. So squish them. Oh no, that's a perlite. Piece of perlite, disregard. False alarm, we're good. Now I'm thinking that every white speck is a mealybug, but that was just perlite. I'm going to do the same thing with all my cactus and succulents as well, so just making sure that everything is coated. I like to spray the top like this and then let it drain down all those little creases there. So I'm not going to show you every single plant that I spray off. It's probably going to be a very long video if it does, but you get the idea of just making sure that everything is coated. I let it drip down into the soil, and hopefully that takes care of these pest issues. And if you're dealing with the same thing, then try not to stress about it. It's just one thing that you have to deal with when owning houseplants. Obviously it's going to attract pests, so don't feel bad if you have to throw out a plant. I do frequently. I actually haven't thrown out any for a while, so it's kind of surprising that just all of a sudden this kind of explosion of mealybugs has been kind of wreaking havoc. But it doesn't stress me out. It's just, you just keep doing what you're doing and kind of go from there. The one thing about this product is you want to spray it on the leaves and let it kind of dry on its own. So you don't want it to dry too fast. You want it to stay wet on the leaves for a period of time. That way it can effectively work with the houseplant pests. You don't have to rinse it off afterwards. It's not going to harm the leaves or anything like that. And as far as I know, you can use these on any type of plant. I know there's certain products that there's warnings for using on, like say jade plants or succulents, cactus, that sort of thing. But as far as I know, this can be used on any houseplant, and it's not going to damage the leaves. It's going to keep them looking healthy and green. So I've never had any burn marks or anything like that from using this Pure Crop 1 mixture. So yeah, so far it's been a really good product, and it's helped my houseplant pests downstairs in my kind of main collection that you guys see quite often. So these are the plants that you don't frequently see. All my ones upstairs that get natural sunlight. So yeah, so far I'm really impressed with this, and yeah, I hope it helps with these nasty mealybugs. So I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Otherwise, thanks for watching all my videos. Take care, everyone. Bye.